First thing I noticed about these new speakers was I thought the imaging, range, and power was amazing. Um, I put them up and I couldn't believe the clarity and the power. Um, I was mixing and I decided to try these and trust them because I've been a KRK user for many, many years. And when I spoke with Keith, he told me he had a new design of a new speaker. Would I be interested in listening to him, give him some feedback? So I said, yeah, bring them over. And I thought, first thing, I thought they looked really cool. They look really cool. And, so I said, okay. Um, so I started to work and I decided to do what I normally do is just trust them. And so what the first thing I noticed is when you put something up, it sounded very real and full range. And I knew exactly what to do with what I was hearing. So that was amazing that I could really hear the whole full range and the clarity of the sound I was working on. And then as I was building the mix, I noticed that how good the imaging was on that and the space and the definition of everything. So what was really cool was when I usually start a mix, I like to feel the power and get the basic sound going, and I couldn't believe it. It felt like I was using big monitors. Um, they just filled up the room, and it was like, whoa, this sounds amazing. So as I got into working, I also noticed what I loved about these speakers is they're very linear. So you can have them full and cranked up or whatever, but then when I mix, I do a lot of detail and a lot of inner work with the reverbs, the delays, whatever I'm going to do. And then as I turned down the volume, I noticed the perspective stayed the same. So I just turned them down, did all my rides, did everything I normally do. And then when I cranked them back up, the perspective was the same, except it was bigger. But the great thing was that the range of the bottom and the top, even if you turned them way down, it sounded the same. So, I was really, really pleased with the way they were to work on because I work like a 10 to 12 hour block. And a lot of times, if you don't have the right speaker, it gets very fatiguing. And I noticed that it's like I didn't feel as tired for some reason. I didn't feel like they were fatiguing to listen to because I could play them at any volume and it didn't matter. And so I called Keith and I told him I thought they sounded amazing and I was really pleased with what I was hearing and how easy they were to work on. I said, but I'll call you tomorrow and then tell you how it translates. So another thing that was absolutely amazing to me was I checked it in my car, on my computer, on my phone, and it sounded exactly the same. And these speakers are really cool because if something sounds really bad, it sounds bad on the speakers. So that's a great thing. So you know what to do. So they're not the kind of speakers, even though they're very impressive and they're full range and everything, they're not false. They don't make anything feel hypey or, if it sounds bad, it's bad. If it sounds amazing, it sounds amazing. So the truth factor for me was the most important thing. And I know everybody listens to things. Some people crank up, bang out their music. Other people just sit there on their phone and that's how they listen, or they're in their car. And that to me was like, I said, okay, you got me, Keith, again, I'm going to stay. I love what you do. The characteristic of what I know and love about KRK when I first heard them was something that was very familiar to me, and these weren't foreign to me. I just decided to trust them, leave them flat, start at that perspective, no low adjustments or any filters, just go with it. And if you trust what you're hearing, I think you'll be really happy. As if you work on these, and I was, and I really, really am impressed by the quality of the way they're built and how solid they sound, and they're just fun to work on.